Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Nagaño, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malayon, Waminal, Olivares, Ong, Ordóñez, Ortega, Juanio Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radasa, Ramirez Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Rodriguez Martin, Romualdez Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbarya, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvador Tambunting, Sanchez, Sangkopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulog, Sabiliano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Suansing Estrelita, Suansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Sontay, Si Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Alaisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Shari, Tan Cerny, Tejada, Tevez Anolfo, Tevez Jose, Chanco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmarior, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villaperte, Villanueva Eduardo, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Terasa Suarez, Villarica, Villago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikurat, Zarate, Zubiri. Mr. Speaker, the roll call shows that 296 members responded to the call.
On the part of the House of Representatives, there being 296 members who responded to the roll call, the Chair declares the presence of a quorum.
Before we begin the canvass of votes for President and Vice President, I would like to place on record some preliminary activities done by the Senate prior to the convening of this joint public session. As provided for by Article 7, Section 4 of the Constitution, the duty of Congress in every election for President and Vice President is to receive the election returns, open all the certificates in the presence of the Senate, the House of Representatives in joint public session, and upon the determination of the authenticity and due execution thereof in the manner provided by law, canvass the votes and proclaim the duly elected President and Vice President. On May 9, 2022, at 5:21 in the afternoon, the Consolidation and Canvassing System, or CCS, was initialized so that the certificates of canvass would be or could be transmitted electronically to the Congress. Present during the initialization activity were Speaker Lord Alan Velasco, along with the distinguished members of the House of Representatives, the official representatives of the Commission on Elections, the lawyers and representatives of the candidates, the political parties, and the citizens' arms. During the initialization process, the CCS server was activated and accessed using security tokens. An initialization report was then generated containing the following information: the number of COCs reported, the total number of COCs, the number of registered voters, the number of voters actually voted, total valid ballots counted, names of each candidate, and the total votes garnered for the presidential and vice presidential elections. The report showed 0 in the number of COCs reported, actual number of ballots counted, and in the votes obtained by each of the candidates for the president and vice president. After having read into the record such information contained in the initialization report, I affixed my signature on the said report. The first OC received electronically in the CCS was from San Juan City on 9, 2022 at 10:28 p.m. The first ballot box purportedly containing a COC was from Malabon City, which was delivered to the Senate last May 10 at 6:56 p.m. The first overseas absentee voting COC was from the Philippine Embassy in Cambodia, which was delivered to the Senate last May 11, 6:59 a.m. And the breakdown of the total number of certificates of canvass so far delivered to the Senate are as follows. Region, province, city, 108. 7 places have 2 ballot boxes. Overseas absentee voting, 46. 1 has 2 ballot boxes from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Local absentee voting, 3. Total of 157. Out of the 173 COCs, the Senate is still expecting 16 COCs, which still have to be delivered in the coming days. To enable Congress perform its constitutional duty, we need to adopt the rules that would govern the conduct of the canvassing. The primordial task of Congress is to ensure that the sovereign will of the people expressed through the ballot is respected and upheld. Thus, Congress shall determine the authenticity and due execution of the certificate of canvass submitted to it in accordance with applicable laws in an orderly and transparent manner. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senate President. Also, before we continue, I'd like to deliver a few remarks. In a challenging year marked by a worldwide pandemic, the Philippine Congress stayed open to show us the way to recover. Your Congress, in joint session now, opens to show us that democracy continues to thrive in our country. Senate President Soto, fellow members of Congress, congressional officials, administration and staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We are here to take part and bear witness to our mandate. Today, Congress shall perform its constitutional duty and canvass the votes for President and Vice President. Within these hallowed halls, we, as the National Board of Canvassers, shall canvass the certificates of canvass for President and Vice President, and thereafter proclaim the winning candidates of the 2022 local and national elections for President and Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines. We owe our presence here today to the fact that we are the chosen representatives of our people, acting as one body to ensure that the will of the people in choosing the 2 highest officials of our country is respected. On May 9, together with Senate President Vicente Tito Soto III, we initialized and confirmed that the vote consolidation and canvassing system, or CCS machine, has reflected 0 votes garnered for any of the presidential and vice presidential candidates, is ready to canvass votes. The electronically transmitted certificates of canvass received by our CCS machine since then from the boards of canvassers from the provinces, cities, and overseas posts is now ready to be canvassed. Ito po ay ang inaatang na sagradong tungkulin ng ating konstitusyon ang magbantay at siguruhin ang wastong pagbilang ng mga boto para sa susunod na mamumuno ng ating bansa. Sa isang demokratikong bansa, ang boses ng mamamayan ang siyang masusunod. Ang tanging layunin natin ay pagkakaroon ng isang tapat, kapani-paniwala at mapayapang eleksyon kung saan ang pagkabanal at pagkalihim ng mga balota ay napapangalagaan at ang kagustuhan at kasiyahan ng mga bumoto ay hindi pinahina o nabigo, bagkus ang siyang mananaig. Let democracy reign in our country. Let the voice of the people be heard. President.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just for the record, we would like to congratulate you for the new interior of the House.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And our distinguished speaker,